think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Ladies and Gentiles, it is I, Dick Thunderlips, here with your Recaparoo of Heroes of Fantasy Football Week 8 edition. Now it was a quiet week. No 97 trades to recap, but we'll see how the landscape has shifted in the Week 8 action. And without further ado, we'll start things off with, frankly, the only person that matters in the NFL, Taylor Swift. But not that Taylor Swift, no. It's that Danny Boy's 2-6 team now, as he dropped another fat L to C Jizzle. No chance in hell a $1.19 puts down Danny Boy 112 to 119. It's tough. 112's not bad. Would have got the dub against a lot of teams this week, but not C Jizzle. No. CJ actually the second highest scoring team this week, goes to 6-2. And not only did he welcome a dub, this guy also had a kid this past week. And so congratulations to C Jizzle on CJ Jr. Better name it Dan Jr. because you are Dan's daddy after this dub here, folks. Let me tell you, Sam Howell scored a redonkulous 30 points for Danny Boy, but not enough to get him over the hump. Mainly because Josh Allen said, "I got you, boo," and dropped 29 to match. So CJ hanging in there, birthing kids. What can't he do? I don't know. CJ goes to 6-2. No chance in hell he's missing the playoffs is what he says. We'll see. As we move right along, talking about missing the playoffs, another matchup of daddies, as Adrian proves to be Tyree's daddy one more time as he scores 102, putting down Tyree 82. Not so great. Tyree finally taking L's when he's not scoring well, like he should be. Falls to 4-4. As Adrian says, Tyreek Hill is a cheat code, goes to 5-3. He still doesn't have RBs. Maybe he doesn't need them because Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill continue to carry this man 2 dubs. And Tyree's team, besides CeeDee Lamb's popping off of epic proportion, scoring 35 points, just not enough. He got a big gooser from Miles Sanders and a 1.8 from Jonnu Smith. Not going to get it done, folks. Tough week for Tyree. We'll see if he can turn it around as we move forward. And speaking of seeing if he's going to trust the process, Steven Naramore just couldn't pick up a second dub in a row. He tastes an L once again to the highest scoring team of the week, Matthew J. Segovia, on a streak, folks. These two swap players last week, and I guess it's going good for Matt. He goes to 5-3, scoring a ridiculous 128, a very solid performance. Frankly, thanks to the 19.4 he got from Devonta Smith in that trade, that was nice. Meanwhile, on the other side of the mountain, not terrible, but not enough from the dudes he got. He still got Tua doing well, but just not enough to get him over the humparoo as Steven Naramore, our champion, continues to have a lackluster year, and Matt has his eyes set on a playoff berth here, folks. Big year for Matthew J. Segovia. Hasn't made the playoffs in a while, maybe ever. Anywho, speaking of making the playoffs and not maybe ever, someone who's not used to missing the playoffs, Ricky G, the Chief, and the Professorito clashed. The brothers war. Blood on the battlefield. These two also pulled off a crazy trade. Ricky G doing 3 trades last week, record-breaking trade business. Well, not so much on the dividend side, folks, as the Professorito scored a hundy and put down Ricky G's 86 in a tough L as we go down the playoff stretch. Ricky G, the Chief, holding on to third place in the playoffs currently. We'll see if he could turn this thing around, folks, and, get down the stretch hot. We'll talk about the dividends of all these trades. Puka. Disappointing Puka performance, folks. This man might need to go knife Cooper Kupp to get his share back. But Ricky G, surely the tight end whisperer, not missing Sam Laporta at all, as he had Dalton Kincaid drop 15. But hey, Laporta stabbing him in the back, 15.7 on the other side. Speaking of this trade, Terry McLaren dropping 14, mixing with 18 here, folks. These guys, the big acquisition, Tony Pollard, poison pilled him, man. Only 6 points, as the trade proved fatal to Ricky G. More like the bench, where DeAndre Hopkins scored, or Donkulus 32, and Lockett dropped 18. Missed opportunities from his newbies on the bench, but you can't blame the guy. He didn't get them. They weren't supposed to go in this week, but hey, Ricky G could have had a dub if he trusted the new bloods, but it just wasn't in the cards, as he only scores 86 and goes down to the Professor Rito in a tough L here after doing all these swaparoos. But the team still looks good. We'll see how it's going. We'll see how Oscarito does replacing Kirk Cousins, who blew out his shit, scoring 19 for him in this game. Meanwhile, the derelicts continue to lick their wounds as they drop a 4-point L. Only 4 points to Aldo. Big Zoe is back, going to 5-3, hanging and clutching onto this playoff spot. We'll see if he can keep on keeping on as he gets a big dub here against Jay Sizzle, putting him to 3-5 and putting his playoff chances into official jeopardy, folks. Jay Sex, solid performance top to bottom, nothing to write home about. But Alvin Kamara coming in hot and helping Aldo down the stretch with a big 29 piece from A.J. Brown. And this dude, Taysom Hill, scoring 21 on the bench. What are you going to do? I don't know. Aldo won anyway. Big dub from the returning Aldo. Big storyline this year, folks. We'll see if old Wildcard can sneak in and have a chance at the belt. Meanwhile, the champ is here, folks. He may have dropped his first L of the year, but this man's back to his winning ways as Obi-Wan Mahomey, Jose Valdez, scores a $110 and puts down Zachariah, hurt so good it's bad, who scored 95. He goes to 3-5. Obi-Wan Mahomey 7-1. First place team with a big 28 piece from Dak Prescott, and C-Mac still carrying the load. And Jalen Hurts did what he could, but hey, just not enough. And can we talk about something real quick? How is L maintaining first place? Well, let's just take a quick second here. Obi-Wan Mahomey, Al, Jose Valdez, has mastered the art of the lineup dodge. Al has made a deal with the Fantasy Devils this year. How has he dodged this lineup bullet? How has he managed to put in all the right people at all the right times? Almost knowing that Josh Reynolds was going to score -0.2, Al definitely benched him. Picked up Kendrick Bourne and slotted him into the flex, who scored 11.1 points. Literally the difference that gave him his 7th victory of the year. This surely is the work of a fantasy master. 47th degree fantasy black belt master. Well, that sums it up quite nicely. Thank you. Moving right along, folks, we have, well, the toughest L of the week. You thought the 4-point win was tough. Let's talk about less than a point between two teams that needed a dub ever so desperately as Alfredo goes down to That's So Ravens, Dwayne Rainey's team, 80.58 to 79.88. Less than a point. Freddie could have sneezed differently and picked up the dub this week. What a tough way to take the L. He's got guys on the bench that could have given it to him. Lamar Jackson could have fallen forward instead of backwards one play, and he would have got it. I mean, we're talking like a kneel down could have cost them this game here, folks, as Dwayne picks up a big double-roo, going to 3-5 and sending Freddie to 3-5. As we take a looky-loo here, let's see here. We've got the stand Ruse. Please hold. We have an Obi-Wan Mahomey standing tall at 7-1. We've got C Jizzle looking pretty at 6-2. Can he take care of a child and maintain this playoff run? I know, but we'll see if he can do it. I don't know. And meanwhile, a cluster Fook at 5-3, Ricky G, Aldo, Matthew Segovia, and Adrian all sitting at 5-3. Tiebreakers abound. We'll see if this can get broken up in the coming weeks as we move forward into what's going to be a huge home stretch. There's a couple 4-4s, the Professorito, and way down in the hole, I don't know who that is. Oh, it's Tyree's team. Oh, he named his team. Tyree named his team. I don't even know what to say. Anyway, we're just going to keep going. The Darren folks, this has been like 18 years since he's named his team. He said he's going to name it later. I think he's a liar, but he just did it. He just did it, folks. I don't even know how my mind is blown. The Derelicts, 3-5. Dwayne, Freddie, and Zach, all 3-5. Technically not eliminated from the playoffs yet, but boy, is it not looking good. And then we've got Taylor Swift at the bottom, 2-6. And our reigning champion weighed down by 1,000 pounds of gold at 1-7. You hate to see it. Sorry, Stephen Nevermore. But there you have it, folks. We'll see. Not much time left, getting ready for the Redemption Bowl for some of these teams, while some of these other teams are trying to make the final moves to get the pieces in place to make this playoff run. Remember, only the top 4 teams are going to go to the actual playoffs to raise the championship belt to the heavens. The rest of us just redeeming our lives in the Redemption Bowl. It's a tough one, folks. But for now, get ready for week 9. Keep the trades going. Do what you can. And dicks out, baby.